happy. You disrespect the game by taking a platform that we all agree in, and so do that. And that's fine. All right, I just we agree with what you're saying, but we don't agree with how you did it, which is what we're talking about on these things. It's just a better way to get your point across.
Well,
and I found that he's out. That was Alcatraz. I believe it was Alcatraz. That he was out there during Thanksgiving and doing that, and I just felt like look, we don't need to talk about the past. We need to sit in a room and get this stuff moving forward. And we don't need these protests and doing all these things, whether it be at a Yale Harvard game or at a prison or on television. Okay, it's just we got to start getting this thing right and move that pendulum back to the middle and sit in a room and start addressing these issues.
I have tried so hard, and I will continue to do it, Bill. Okay, I can't stomach Colin Kaepernick. Okay, I can't, and I really unless the fact that you bring it up, I won't be bringing him up voluntarily. Okay, and that's just me. The guy had an opportunity to get back in the game, tried to do it on his own terms. I don't care what his mindset was. Doesn't matter. He had 25 teams ready to look at you. He didn't like the way they were going to go about business. Bottom line is, like you said, he didn't want to play football bad enough. He was just looking to draw attention back to himself, as we continue to refer to it on this show. Attention grabber. Any more or less than I would want to bring up this guy like the LeVar Balls or the Michael Sams. Okay, we all know what you're trying to do for different reasons. I'm not going to get you started on those. But again, they fall into the word attention grabber for all their own reasons. But I don't like talking about Colin Kaepernick. I refuse to do it or pay attention to what he's doing because I really, frankly, don't care. When you bring it up, no problem. But I will not voluntarily bring that up.
That's fine, Scott. I get your point. The only thing I'm going to say is that a lot of us agree with what he feels.
Right.
It's the platform in which you choose to do it. It's just not the right platform. And I'll tell you why. Because you got to understand one thing. It's all about money.
Right.
Okay, and you have to understand that it can't be all about money and it can't be all about social justice. That pendulum needs to swing in the middle. I'm going to give you a little statistic that I think you'll get a kick out of.
Okay.
Take a guess at how many Division II football schools there are. Division II. How many schools out there play Division II football?
Played it, I would say, 40 or 50?
172.
Really? Wow.
How many coaches got fired in one day at Division II?
Don't know.
Take a guess.
5?
19.
Well, okay.
Now, what does that tell you? When you have universities that are turning over coaches at this kind of rate because they worship money, okay, and forget about the overall picture, that doesn't create stability. The athlete comes in and doesn't know what to do because there's no consistency, because there's no establishment of culture. And I can tell you some of the best coaches have come from losing programs. And I just think that this is a little ridiculous that we're now acting like professionals at the college ranks. Okay?
Right. Okay.
I think the way people are protesting right now in certain arenas, okay, is selfish. I think it's unproductive. I think there's a better way to go about it. All right, and I just think that we, through our show a little bit, we'll get that pendulum to swing back towards the middle.
Right.
Now let's take a look at Division I. Let's just take a look at a professional athlete, all right, who played for the Giants, who's now playing for the Cleveland Browns. Okay, who's leading by example by catching balls and not really popping off too much. All right, and a guy that is a heck of a football player when he's healthy. But the reality of it, this weekend there was a game against Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Okay, the guy scores a touchdown. All right, and one of the teammates celebrates in the end zone by crawling like a dog, lifting his leg up, and acting like he's urinating on a fire hydrant.
Right.
Well, the referee throws the flag. Okay, and it was unsportsmanlike conduct, we'll call it. All right, and the guy misses the extra point because of it.
Right.
Cost him the game. All right, when it could have gone into overtime. teams understand, okay? And guys like me understand. When you rep something out a million times, you're an expert because you've done it more than anybody else, and you know a lot of nuance. Could be something as simple as lifting weights. Could be something as well as eating. Those types of things. That's where my arrogance comes from, because I can talk because I was in the room and I'm the one doing it, and I've been around great coaches and some of the best professional athletes on the planet, okay, that have ever played the game. Like, I think they had the top 100 the other day, and I played against a lot of these guys, all right, and I'm sitting back and, saying, where did this guy get this idea from? What would make a player do something like that? Well, he's trying to cause attention to himself because he's a child. He hasn't grown up. All right, there's constant turnover in the college ranks, so the guy doesn't know that this is not what we do. All right, and then on top of that, it costs his team a game. All right, you have to do the little things better than everyone else.
Right.
And you have to be held accountable. Well, guess what? The coach lost his job after the game. And I'm not saying just because of that, but if I'm an alumni, I'm sitting down and I'm going, well, this coach isn't producing, and now his players are acting like knuckleheads. And that's exactly what it is, knuckleheads.
Right.
All right? I just think that, where's this? I watch a game between Georgia and Georgia Tech. I see two players going into the corner of the end zone, throwing a freaking fist fight, ignoring everybody and just going at it. No disrespect, where did that ever come from?
Right.
When's the last time you ever saw something like that? And I think what's happening is because we're getting constant turnover, okay, and the kids aren't getting what they need anymore.
Right.
And I'm watching the way they're playing football as well. All of a sudden, guys, everybody's hurdling everybody. I've been in rooms with coaches that would say, don't do that. Why? Well, first of all, I need you for the entire season. Number two, I don't want you to get hurt. And number three, the odds that you do, and you have to play the percentages. Just run the guy over. Okay, try to break the tackle.
Right.
Okay, you don't need to be hurling him. This guy in the Wisconsin game jumped up and he almost killed himself.
Right.
It was the worst jump I've ever seen. I go, where are you getting this from? Well, if a player is really about the team, he'll know what to do. And that's not one of the things that you do. And I'm watching a lot of undisciplined play.
Right.
Okay, and in the Michigan game, it's 4th and 4. The guy's trying to kick a field goal, and Ohio State draws the guy offsides.
Right.
First down, they continue. Then they go in for a score. Okay, I must have watched every time I turn the TV because I surf the games. I'm seeing, when I'm watching the pros, I'm seeing a flag on calls all the time, tripping, holding, pass interferences aren't called. To the point where I go, God, this is ridiculous.
Right.
I sat down with a notepad and just started, sit down. How many times? I had to see it at least 12 times in 4 different games.
Right.
That's ruining the integrity because we're trying to institute technology and want to be right. Lighten up. Get a super cam up top. Get this thing quickly. Get it done and done. And if there's something egregious, turn it over right away.
Right.
I'm watching, there was a hit on the Alabama quarterback the other. It wasn't a hit. I'm sitting back and going, are you kidding me? I'm just laughing at this stuff because I'm sitting here going, the integrity. The game is being ruined.
Right.
Revenues are going down because of all this stuff. And this kind of reminds me of what happens when you start doing all this stuff. What happens? People stop going to the games, they lose interest.
Right.
Okay? Sort of like a tech company out in San Francisco doing the exact same thing where everybody's moving out and you have a bunch of billionaires that are making all the rules, but what's happened, the city's turning into a dirty place to live, and then everybody's moving out.
All right,
So, it's like you kind of sit back and go, we got to keep this in between. We can't have a disparity between the rich and the poor, where there's no middle class.
Let me refer to a couple things. All right. Number one, the Mississippi coach that you're referring to happens to be Matt Luke, and he was the one that was fired, and was actually fired while he was on a recruiting trip. Boy, can you imagine how the guy felt? Here, I'm trying to recruit for this university, and all of a sudden I'm no longer employed. All because of the fact is obviously wins and losses played a large role in his dismissal, but having extracurricular incidents like what you described with the dog urinating showed a lack of discipline, which leads me to your next topic, and that's players doing stupid things. I know that you talked about a couple of them, but do you want to go ahead and talk about other players that are doing stupid things as a segue to what you just introduced?
Well, yeah. Let's just take a look at what we're dealing with here, because I just believe this younger generation lacks discipline. Number one, lacks accountability. Okay, I mean, no disrespect to Tennant, and I'm just going to say it the way I feel. I don't know who the defensive end is for the Browns. Okay, whatever his name is, the first round pick, wherever it's supposed to be, all that. Okay, and he gets in a fight with a quarterback. All right, and then doesn't say anything about any racial slurs. Okay, and then a couple days later, he decides, when he's being interviewed by the disciplinary staff by the NFL, he throws that at him. And we know the very reason he did that was because he wants to save a lot of money that he's going to lose because he may be suspended for the 2020 season. And most of the guys that were on that staff that interviewed him were black. Okay? So right away you got a lot of people screaming this or that, and they don't even know that most of the people in that room that were making decisions were black. Okay, this is football. We don't need to be throwing that in the mix because you decide it's going to cost you money, so you're going to play that card. Okay, so there's not accountability sometimes for this stuff. Okay, and as a school teacher, I've seen this before where I have to grab these kids early and let them know, hey, you need to be held accountable. Every situation is different. All right, that's the first thing. Now, about respect for the game. Okay, you got players urinating in the end zones like dogs. You got guys throwing punches, okay, in the end zone and getting into fights. Okay, you got players wearing, socks, kill the police and all this kind of stuff. Showing up to a workout wearing a Kentucky State T-shirt, saying you really, really want to play ball when you know that maybe, just maybe, you're trying to be a martyr. Maybe you got an own agenda. Okay, and now, both sides are, wrong in a lot of these things you do, but, it's the way you handle it. Let's take a look at this guy who played for the Arizona Cardinals.
Sure.
I believe his name is Shaw.
Josh Shaw.
Yeah, Josh Shaw. First of all, this guy is injured, but he's probably getting paid by the Cardinals. And everybody knows in your contract that you're not supposed to gamble. So what has this guy been doing for the last 2 years? Gambling. Okay? So guess what? You're terminated. Okay? Now, no disrespect to Tennant. That's a lack of respect for the game. That's a lack of education for the game. Yeah, I bet you the guy probably doesn't even know who Pete Rose is.
Right.
Because what we're doing is, this is getting to the point now where people are educated. They're not going to sit there and interrupt the football game, okay, and say, we want you to, relieve the $71 million worth of debt for Puerto Rico. The United States has been doing that for 50 years with a lot of Latin American countries. Why? Without them, we can't do what we're supposed to do and vice versa. It's called trade between countries.
Right.
So right away, that showed blatant ignorance to me. Okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is that even,